The night shift at Earth's Deep Space Monitoring Station was usually quiet. The soft hum of computers and occasional beeping of sensors typically provided a peaceful backdrop for the operators who watched over humanity's early warning system. But tonight was different. Tom Miller stared at his screen, his coffee forgotten and growing cold beside him. The readings from the Kuiper Belt made no sense. Something was destroying the automated research stations out there, one by one, in a pattern that couldn't be natural. "Sir," he called out, his voice steady despite his racing heart. "You need to see this." Station Chief Robert Anderson walked over, his heavy boots echoing on the metal floor. He leaned over Tom's shoulder, his eyes narrowing as he studied the data. "How long has this been happening?" "First anomaly appeared 6 hours ago. I thought it was just equipment failure, but—" Tom pulled up a map of the outer solar system. Red dots marked the locations of destroyed stations, forming an unmistakable grid pattern. "This is deliberate, sir." Anderson reached for the secure phone on the wall. "Get me Commander Wilson. Authorization code Baker 79 Delta." Within minutes, the face of Commander James Wilson appeared on the main screen. His gray hair and stern expression reflected years of military service, but there was something else in his eyes tonight. Concern. "Report," Wilson ordered. Anderson sent the data to Earth Defense Command. "Sir, we're losing research stations in the Kuiper Belt. The pattern suggests systematic testing of our sensor grid." Wilson's jaw tightened. "Any visual confirmation?" "No, sir. Whatever's out there, it's staying in the shadows. But we're detecting energy signatures unlike anything in our database." "Similar reports are coming in from other monitoring stations," Wilson revealed, bringing up additional data feeds. "Mars Observatory lost contact with 3 satellites in the last hour. Jupiter Station reports unusual gravitational disturbances." Tom spoke up, his voice quiet but clear. "Sir, I found something else." He transmitted a new set of readings. "We're picking up radiation patterns from some of the debris. The decay signature. It's identical to artifacts we found on Mars last year." The room fell silent. Everyone knew about the Mars discoveries, ancient warning beacons buried beneath the red planet's surface. Until now, their purpose had remained a mystery. Commander Wilson straightened in his chair. "Send everything to Analysis Team 6 and initiate Protocol Omega." Anderson's face paled. Protocol Omega was designed for one scenario only: first contact with hostile alien forces. "Sir," he acknowledged, initiating Protocol Omega. "Should we alert the civilian population?" Wilson shook his head. "Not yet. The last thing we need is panic. For now, we observe and prepare. Whoever's out there, they're testing our defenses, looking for weaknesses. Let's not show our hand too early." As the commander's image disappeared from the screen, Tom pulled up more sensor data. The destruction had stopped, but something else caught his attention: a faint signal, repeating every 12 seconds. "Chief," he called out, "I'm picking up a transmission. It's weak, but it's there." Anderson hurried back to Tom's station. "Can you decode it?" "Working on it." Tom's fingers flew over his keyboard. "It's not encrypted, just different, like nothing we've seen before." The signal suddenly resolved into clear text on the screen. 3 simple words that made everyone's blood run cold. "They are coming." Below the message was a string of numbers, coordinates marking a location deep in the solar system where the ancient Mars civilization had apparently made their last stand. Anderson looked at the red dots on the map again, seeing them with new understanding. This wasn't just a test of Earth's defenses. It was a replay of an ancient invasion, following the same pattern that had brought down a civilization far more advanced than humanity's. Or so they thought. "Send word to command," Anderson ordered, his voice firm. Tell them the war games have begun, and we're not going to make the same mistakes as those who came before us." Tom nodded, transmitting the message as more red dots appeared on his screen. In the vast darkness of space, Humanity's first real test was approaching. But unlike their predecessors, they wouldn't face it unprepared. The pieces were already in place. Now it was just a matter of waiting for the enemy to make their move. 3 weeks after the Kuiper Belt incident, the mining outpost on Europa reported its first attack. It happened quickly, a flash of light, a brief power surge, and then silence. When rescue teams arrived, they found the station intact but empty. All 50 workers had vanished without a trace. Admiral Kate Stone stood in Earth Defense Command's war room, studying the holographic display of the solar system. Red markers showed the locations of similar incidents: a research vessel near Saturn, 2 supply ships in the asteroid belt, and now Europa. "They're testing us," she said, addressing the gathered military leaders. "Each attack is designed to measure our response time, our capabilities, our weaknesses." General Paul White nodded in agreement. "The question is, do we show them what we're really capable of?" A smile crossed Kate's face. "No, we give them exactly what they expect to see." She pressed a button, and the display changed to show Earth's apparent defense grid, a simple network of outdated satellites and patrol ships. Operation Dark Shield begins now. The plan was elegant in its deception. While alien observers watched Earth's seemingly primitive defense forces bumble through slow and ineffective rescue missions, the real work happened in secret. Deep beneath the lunar surface, engineers worked around the clock, retrofitting civilian ships with experimental quantum weapons. The massive shipyards of Mars, hidden under the guise of mining operations, doubled their production of stealth fighters. Every response to an alien probe was carefully choreographed to appear disorganized and technologically inferior. "Status report," Kate demanded, 1 month into the operation. Lieutenant Mike Brown pulled up the latest data. "The aliens are taking the bait, Admiral. Their attacks are becoming bolder, but they're still following the same pattern as the Mars civilization's invaders. With one key difference," Kate pointed out. "We know their playbook. Every move they make tells us more about their tactics, while they learn nothing true about ours." The war room's main screen lit up with a priority alert. Another attack was underway, this time at the Jupiter fuel depot. Kate watched calmly as the alien ship appeared from nowhere, its sleek form visible for just moments before it struck. "Launch Defense Pattern Alpha," she ordered. An outdated patrol ship responded, arriving deliberately late and firing inaccurate shots with conventional weapons. The alien vessel easily evaded the attack and disappeared, leaving behind another empty station. "They think we're helpless," General White said, shaking his head. "If they knew about the quantum grid." "They don't," Kate cut him off. "And they won't, not until the moment we choose." She brought up another display, showing the true extent of Earth's preparations. Hidden weapons platforms orbited every major planet. Automated defense systems lay dormant in the asteroid belt. The quantum shield network, invisible to alien sensors, stood ready to activate at a moment's notice. A junior officer rushed into the room. "Admiral, we've intercepted an alien transmission." The message played on the main screen, a series of encoded signals that Earth's AI systems quickly translated. "Target-assessment complete. Resistance minimal. Proceed with invasion planning." Kate's expression remained neutral, but there was a glint of satisfaction in her eyes. "Send the weekly status report to all commands," she ordered. "Tell them to maintain current protocols. Let the aliens think they have us figured out." As the officers filed out of the war room, General White stayed behind. "The civilian government is getting nervous," he said quietly. "They want to know how long we have to maintain this charade." Kate walked to the window, looking out at the Earth below. Somewhere up there, invisible to normal sensors, alien ships watched and waited, thinking they had found an easy target. "We maintain it until they commit their full force," she replied. "Until they're so convinced of our weakness that they throw everything they have at us. And then," she smiled, "then we show them exactly what humanity is capable of." In the darkness of space, another alien probe appeared, testing another defensive position. Earth's forces responded exactly as expected. Slow, clumsy, ineffective. The shadow war continued, each side thinking they knew the truth about the other. Only one side was right. Intelligence officer Mark Roberts hadn't slept in 3 days. His eyes were red from staring at screens filled with alien transmissions, but he couldn't stop now. Not when he was so close to cracking their code. The underground facility beneath the Rocky Mountains hummed with activity. Dozens of analysts worked around the clock, processing the increasing amount of alien communications flooding Earth's hidden receivers. But Mark's station was different. He had found a pattern that nobody else had noticed. "There," he whispered, fingers flying across his keyboard. "Got you." The alien messages began transforming on his screen, shifting from meaningless symbols into clear text. His hand shook as he pressed the emergency alert button. Within minutes, the facility's commander, Lisa Hayes, stood behind him. "Show me," she ordered. Mark highlighted several decoded transmissions. "They're not just one alien faction, Commander. There are at least 3 different groups out there, all talking about Earth." Lisa leaned closer, reading the translations. Asterisk, humans remain unaware. Preliminary testing shows minimal defensive capabilities. Asterisk. Asterisk, the Sol system will make an excellent forward base. Their technology is centuries behind ours. Asterisk. Asterisk, this conquest will be easier than the Mars civilization. Begin final preparations. Asterisk. They're planning the invasion, Lisa said, her voice tight. "How long do we have?" Mark pulled up more data. Based on their communications, they're gathering their forces at the edge of the solar system. Their main fleet will arrive in approximately 2 weeks. Lisa straightened up. "Get me a direct line to Earth Defense Command. Priority 1. While they waited for the connection, Mark continued decoding. Each new message revealed more of the aliens' plans and their fatal mistake. They thought Earth was defenseless, primitive, an easy target, just like they had thought about Mars thousands of years ago. The main screen lit up with Admiral Stone's face. "Report." "Ma'am, we've decoded their transmissions," Lisa announced. "They're coming sooner than we expected. Multiple alien factions, all thinking we're going to be an easy conquest." The Admiral's expression didn't change, but her eyes narrowed slightly. "Send everything to command. I'll inform the Security Council." Hours later, Mark found himself in an unexpected place. The Security Council's emergency session, being broadcast securely to military commands worldwide. He stood before the world's leaders, explaining what he had discovered. "The aliens are overconfident," he explained, showing translations of their battle plans. "They've divided up Earth's resources among themselves before they've even arrived. They're even arguing about who gets to claim which parts of our solar system." One of the council members spoke up. "Can we send them a message? Try to negotiate." Admiral Stone, standing at the back of the room, stepped forward. "Actually, I have a different suggestion." She nodded to Mark. "Show them the Mars transmission." Mark pulled up his latest discovery, a message left behind by the Mars civilization, buried in the aliens' own communications. "They didn't just destroy Mars," he explained. "They harvested it, stripped it of resources. They've done this to countless civilizations across the galaxy." The room fell silent as the implications sank in. "We could warn them," another council member suggested. "Tell them we're stronger than they think." "No," Admiral Stone said firmly. "We send them exactly what they expect. Nothing. Let them come in confident. Let them think we're just another primitive species waiting to be conquered." The council president stood up, all in favor of maintaining our deception and preparing for full military response. The vote was unanimous. As Mark left the council chamber, Admiral Stone stopped him. "Keep monitoring their communications. I want to know every move they plan before they make it." He nodded, but had to ask, "What happens when they realize the truth? When they find out what we're really capable of?" Stone's smile was cold. Then they'll learn what every bully in history has learned the hard way. Never mistake patience for weakness. Back in his underground facility, Mark intercepted another alien transmission. They were getting closer, more confident with each passing day. Soon they would arrive, expecting to find an easy target. They would find something very different instead. Deep beneath the surface of Mars, Dr. Thomas Reed stood before a massive window overlooking humanity's greatest secret. Endless rows of advanced warships filled the underground hangar, their quantum drives pulsing with barely contained power. What the aliens thought were simple mining operations were actually the largest military shipyards ever built by human hands. "Begin final activation sequence," he ordered into his comm unit. "All ships, power up stealth systems." The cavernous space hummed with energy as hundreds of ships came to life. On his datapad, Thomas watched as green lights appeared one by one. 20 years of preparation were about to be put to the test. His assistant, John Porter, rushed into the observation room. "Sir, we're getting signals from Earth Defense Command. Operation Dark Shield is entering its final phase." "About time," Thomas muttered. He turned to the large screen showing the solar system map. Hidden installations were lighting up everywhere. Weapon platforms disguised as asteroids, defense grids masked as communication satellites, and automated battle stations that had been invisible for decades. The Mars defense grid was his proudest achievement. What looked like simple communication towers on the planet's surface were actually quantum shield generators and energy weapon arrays. Any alien ship that tried to attack Mars would face firepower they couldn't imagine. "Status report from the Proxima Centauri colony," John announced, reading from his tablet. "Their fleet is ready. They'll arrive exactly when needed." Thomas nodded. The colony had been humanity's first step into interstellar space, but few knew its true purpose. While civilian scientists conducted their research, military engineers had built an entire battle fleet in secret. The aliens had no idea that humanity's reach extended beyond the solar system. His comm unit chimed with a priority message. "Dr. Reed, this is Admiral Stone. Is the quantum shield ready?" "Yes, Admiral. All systems are green. The moment they enter our space, we can have the entire solar system under protection in less than 30 seconds. "Good. We've detected their fleet gathering at the edge of the system. They'll make their move soon." Thomas walked to another window, this one showing the surface of Mars. Countless cargo ships moved between the mining facilities, each one actually carrying weapons and supplies to strategic positions. "Doctor," John called out urgently, "we're picking up unusual readings from the Kuiper Belt. Multiple ships dropping out of faster-than-light travel." "Show me." The main screen filled with sensor data. Hundreds of alien vessels were appearing, forming into attack formations. They were still far out, but their intentions were clear. Thomas opened a channel to all Mars facilities. "This is Dr. Reed. Operation Dark Shield is now in final countdown. All personnel to battle stations. Civilian disguise protocols are no longer needed." Across Mars, the transformation was dramatic. Mining facilities shed their innocent-looking outer shells, revealing weapon emplacements and shield generators. Transport ships switched off their civilian transponders, their hulls morphing to show their true military nature. "Admiral Stone is asking for readiness confirmation," John reported. Thomas looked at his status board one last time. Everything they had built in secret, every weapon and defense they had hidden from alien eyes, was ready. 20 years of preparation were about to pay off. "Tell her Mars defense grid is combat ready. All ships are powered up and in position. Quantum shield generators are at full capacity." He paused, then added, "And tell her it's been an honor to help prepare humanity's surprise for our uninvited guests." The alien fleet grew larger on the display, still unaware that they were heading into the most heavily defended solar system they had ever encountered. They expected to find primitive defenses and outdated technology. Instead, they would face the combined might of humanity's hidden military power. "Sir," John said quietly, Do you think they'll turn back when they realize what they're really facing? Thomas watched as more ships joined the alien armada. No, he replied. They're too confident, too sure of their superiority. They need to learn this lesson the hard way. He smiled grimly, and we're ready to teach it to them. Throughout the solar system, humanity's true military force waited silently in the darkness of space. The time for hiding was almost over. Soon, very soon, the aliens would learn why you should never judge an enemy by their apparent weaknesses. The alien armada appeared at the edge of Neptune's orbit, their ships darkening the space like a swarm of metal locusts. Over 3,000 vessels, each one larger than humanity's apparent largest warship, moved in perfect formation toward the inner solar system. In Earth's Defense Command Center, Admiral Stone watched their approach on the main display. Beside her, General White studied the alien fleet's formation. They're not even trying to hide, he noted. They want us to see them coming. Of course they do, Kate replied. They want us to feel helpless. The first alien transmission arrived exactly as expected. Their message displayed on screens worldwide, broadcast on every frequency. PUPLE of Earth. Your solar system is now under our control. Surrender your resources and HCCEP2 relocation, or FAC immediate destruction. UAV-1 Earth 8UR2 with COMBLI. The message repeated in 50 different human languages. They had studied Earth well enough to learn our languages, but not well enough to learn our true nature. They're scanning us, reported Lieutenant Brown from his station. Their sensors are probing every planet, every station. Kate nodded. And what are they finding? Exactly what we want them to see. Our decoy fleet is in position, looking appropriately primitive and terrified. The alien fleet split into 3 groups as they passed Uranus. The largest group continued toward Earth, while the others moved to secure Mars and Venus. They had no way of knowing that every move they made was exactly what humanity had prepared for. Time for our response, Kate announced. She pressed a button on her command console. All stations, maintain current protocols. Let's give them exactly what they expect. Earth's apparent defense fleet, a collection of outdated ships and simple weapon platforms, began moving into defensive positions. From the aliens' perspective, it must have looked pathetic, like children arranging toys against a tsunami. A second alien message arrived. Your defensive MEASUREs are noted and DISMISSED. Surrender now. Kate looked at her countdown timer. The alien fleet would reach optimal range in exactly 3 minutes. Every hidden weapon, every cloaked ship, every concealed defense platform was ready. 20 years of preparation came down to this moment. Send them our response, she ordered. The communications officer typed quickly, then looked up. Ready, Admiral. Kate took a deep breath. This was the moment that would change everything. Send it. 3 simple words transmitted across space. We are doing hiding. The alien fleet continued forward, clearly not understanding the significance of the message. Their sensors still showed the same weak defenses, the same primitive technology. All ships reporting ready, General White announced. Hidden bases are powered up. Quantum shield is charged. Proxima fleet is in position, added another officer. They're ready to jump in on your command. Kate watched the alien fleet draw closer. On their sensors, Earth must have looked like the easiest target they'd ever encountered. The same trick had worked on the Mars civilization thousands of years ago. Show overwhelming force, demand surrender, then sweep away any resistance. But humanity had learned from Mars' mistakes. They had spent decades preparing for this moment, building their true strength in secret while showing the galaxy a face of weakness. Time to activation, Kate asked. 30 seconds until they're in the kill zone, replied Lieutenant Brown. The alien fleet moved into their final attack formation, their weapons powered up, ready to destroy Earth's pathetic defenses and claim another easy victory. 10 seconds, Brown counted down. Kate allowed herself a small smile. Send the final message. As the aliens prepared to fire their first shots, a new transmission reached their ships. We've been watching. We've been waiting. We're ready. In the darkness of space, humanity's trap was about to spring shut. The aliens were about to learn that sometimes the most dangerous predator is the one that looks like prey. All ships, Kate commanded, her voice firm. Execute Operation Dark Shield. Show them what humanity is really capable of. The true battle for Earth was about to begin. The transformation happened in an instant. Across the solar system, humanity's hidden forces revealed themselves all at once. What looked like asteroids split open, revealing massive weapon platforms. Civilian stations shimmered and changed, their hulls morphing to show their true military nature. Mining ships shed their disguises, becoming sleek warships bristling with advanced weapons. In Earth's Defense Command, Admiral Stone watched the alien sensor readings spike as they detected the sudden appearance of humanity's real fleet. Their formation faltered, ships bumping into each other as they tried to make sense of what was happening. Quantum shield grid activated, announced Lieutenant Brown. A shimmer of energy spread across the solar system as thousands of hidden generators came online. The aliens are now trapped inside our defense network. From behind Mars, the massive shipyards launched their full force. Hundreds of warships, each one more advanced than anything the aliens had seen, moved into attack positions. The Mars defense grid powered up, its weapon arrays rising from the red planet's surface like awakening giants. Proxima Fleet, jump now, Kate ordered. Space itself seemed to tear open as humanity's interstellar battle group arrived from Proxima Centauri. The aliens found themselves caught between two forces, each one powerful enough to destroy their entire fleet. They're trying to send messages back to their homeworlds, reported the communications officer. The quantum shield is blocking all their transmissions. The alien fleet's neat formation had dissolved into chaos. Some ships tried to run, only to find their faster-than-light drives wouldn't work within the quantum shield. Others turned to fight, their weapons seeming small and primitive compared to humanity's true arsenal. They're broadcasting on all frequencies, said Lieutenant Brown. They're asking how this is possible. Kate nodded to the communications officer. Show them. A detailed timeline appeared on the alien screens, showing 20 years of human preparation. They saw how their every probe had been detected. Every test had been monitored. Every move had been anticipated. While they thought they were studying a primitive species, humanity had been studying them. Multiple alien ships powering down weapons, reported General White. They're surrendering. But not all of them. A group of alien ships, perhaps a third of the fleet, formed into an attack pattern. Their weapons charged, preparing to fight even against impossible odds. Launch the drones, Kate ordered. From every planet, moon, and hidden base, swarms of automated fighters emerged. Millions of them, each one controlled by advanced AI systems, surrounded the alien fleet. Any one drone was weak, but together, they could overwhelm even the strongest defenses. The alien ships fired their weapons. Energy beams and plasma torpedoes shot toward Earth's fleet, only to splash harmlessly against shields far more advanced than they had thought possible. The humans' return fire was precise and devastating. Ships that had conquered countless worlds fell before weapons they couldn't even understand. Enemy fleet is retreating to the outer system, reported Brown. But they can't escape the quantum shield. Kate watched as the alien ships scattered, their formation completely broken. Everything they had assumed about humanity had been wrong. Where they expected to find primitive chemical rockets, they found quantum drives. Where they looked for basic shields, they discovered defensive systems that could protect entire planets. Open a channel to all alien vessels, she ordered. The communications officer nodded. Channel open. Attention alien fleet, Kate's voice rang across space. Your attack has failed. Your ships are trapped. Your weapons are useless. You have 1 Earth hour to surrender, or we will demonstrate our full military capabilities. On the main screen, more alien ships powered down their weapons. The message was clear. Humanity was not the easy target they had imagined. The hunters had become the hunted. General White, Kate turned to her second-in-command. Prepare boarding teams. I want to know everything about who they are and where they came from. The revelation was complete. Humanity had shown its true strength, and the galaxy would never be the same. 1 week after the failed invasion, Admiral Kate Stone stood before the United Earth Council. The massive chamber was packed with representatives from every nation, all eager to hear what would happen next. Behind her, a holographic display showed the captured alien fleet, now surrounded by humanity's warships. The interrogation of alien commanders is complete, she announced. We now know they represent a coalition of species that have been conquering primitive worlds for centuries. They thought Earth would be an easy target. The room filled with quiet laughter. The aliens' mistake had cost them dearly. Over half their fleet captured, the rest damaged beyond repair. Not a single human ship had been lost. What about their homeworlds? Asked the council president. Should we expect retaliation? Kate smiled. No, thanks to their own databanks, we now have the locations of all their major worlds. Our quantum shield technology is being installed across their primary travel routes. They couldn't reach Earth now even if they wanted to. Dr. Thomas Reed stepped forward, holding up a small device. We also found something interesting in their records. They weren't the ones who destroyed the Mars civilization. They just copied the tactics from ancient records. The real destroyers of Mars disappeared long ago. The council chamber buzzed with conversation. Humanity had prepared for one enemy, but discovered a much larger galaxy of potential threats and opportunities. It's time to send our message, Kate said firmly. Not just to these aliens, but to the entire galaxy. The council president nodded. Proceed. In deep space, the captured alien commanders were returned to their undamaged ships. Each vessel carried detailed scans of Earth's true military power, along with recordings of the battle. As the quantum shield lowered, Kate's voice transmitted across all frequencies, in all known alien languages. This is Admiral Catherine Stone of the United Earth Defense Force. You came to our world thinking us weak. You thought our apparent primitive technology meant we were easy prey. You were wrong. The alien ships hung motionless, their crews watching in silence as humanity's massive fleet surrounded them. We could have destroyed you, Kate continued. We could have taken your worlds as you planned to take ours. Instead, we offer you this one warning. Earth is not your prey. Humanity is not weak. We have hidden our strength because we value peace, but we are always ready for war. On the council chamber's main screen, the alien vessels began powering up their engines. Return to your worlds, Kate's message continued. Tell everyone what you saw here. Tell them about the humans who hid their true power. Tell them about the fleet that appeared from nowhere. Tell them about the weapons you couldn't understand and the defenses you couldn't breach. She paused, letting the words sink in. And tell them this: we are humanity. We come in peace, and we welcome peaceful contact with other species. But if you come seeking conquest, if you mistake our desire for peace as weakness, you will find out exactly what we can do. This is your only warning. There will not be another. The quantum shield generators powered down, creating a clear path to open space. The alien ships, now carrying humanity's message, fled toward their homeworlds. In the council chamber, the president stood. And so humanity enters the galactic stage, he said quietly. Not as conquerors, not as victims, but as equals who demand respect. What now? Someone asked. Kate looked at the star map, now marked with hundreds of alien civilizations. Now we continue what we've always done. We explore, we learn, we prepare, but we do it openly, showing our true strength while still seeking peace. Dr. Reed smiled. And if anyone else mistakes our peaceful intentions for weakness, they'll learn the same lesson. Kate finished. Humanity hid its strength once. We won't need to hide it again. As the alien ships disappeared into faster-than-light travel, Earth's massive defense fleet resumed its patrol positions. The quantum shield generators powered back up, ready to protect humanity's home. The galaxy now knew the truth. Humanity was waiting. Humanity was ready, and humanity was far more powerful than anyone had imagined. It was a lesson that would not be forgotten.